Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. Today, I'm your host Connor, joined by my fellow co-host Liam.
Hello there.
So, Liam, how you been, man?
Been good. I'm a little bored. You want to play something?
Yeah, sure. What's something we both play? Wait. How about Smash?
Yeah. We can play Smash. You sure you want to play? I kind of kick your ass.
By what? You're crusty Mario, bro? You haven't touched that game in like 6 months.
That may be true, but Connor, we both know I'm the better Smash player.
Liam, I'm sorry, but I'm obviously the better Smash player.
No, I am.
I am.
It's honestly marvelous how much better I am than you.
Yeah, right. You know what? I think it's about time we settled this little rivalry we have on.
Yeah, and the best hero shooter ever.
Marvel Rivals!
No, I meant Overwatch 2.
I'm gonna pretend that you didn't say that, Liam.
And that's where we'll start off, and I'm prefacing this. I don't like Overwatch 2. I loved Overwatch. That game is awful.
He's got to throw out the walls before we get
I
the
have
mod.
to be I have to be very I'm giving out my like warning that I'm like
Yeah, but today, if you couldn't tell by the intro, we are going to be talking about Marvel Rivals. This a hero shooter that is made by Marvel and NetEase Games came out about a month ago, and me and Liam are really big fans of it. We think it's really cool and fun.
Yes, and this game, like the whole thing with this game is it came out, everyone called it an Overwatch clone, but it's really set itself apart, and it has become its own game. That unlike a certain game, I'm definitely not going to mention many times over. Their first season, they are adding 4 new characters, which, by the way, is more characters than than the past 2 years of Overwatch.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And like we'll get into like how and why they're able to do this stuff like a little bit later, but um just as like a starting point, I think we should definitely just, sort of talk about what the game is. So Liam, do you want to give a quick explanation?
Yes, so Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 team hero shooter that is, it's a Marvel game, so it uses Marvel characters, but it is basically 2 teams go against each other online with objectives. They can either be capturing and holding a point to get to it to 100%, or capturing an objective and pushing a payload. And I
Yeah.
believe those are the 2 big ones.
Hmm.
Yes. And so you get to play a roster of characters like Hulk,
Venom,
Venom, Spider-Man, Moon Knight, uh, Cloak
Mantis,
and Dagger, Mantis,
Iron Man, and then
Loki,
you get
and
to
they
play Iron
all,
Man, and
yeah,
then you
they
get to
all
jump through
have,
the air.
yes, they all have different roles. Like Venom and Captain America, they are vanguards, which are like these big tank characters that are meant to soak up damage, block for their team, and
Control the point.
control space, control the point, that kind of stuff. And there are a bunch of different characters that fill these roles. There's like Venom, Captain America,
Thor.
Doctor Strange. They all play very differently from each other, but they all fill that role. And then you have the Duelist, which is the main roster of the game. I can say that because there are a lot of duelists in the game.
Hmm.
They're meant to get picks, get kills, kind of change the flow, and that's where Spider-Man, Moon Knight,
Iron
Bucky
Man,
Barnes, Iron Man,
Psylocke.
Psylocke, like all of these characters, they're meant to deal a lot of damage, get kills, and like go after the strategists, which is the final ones. They are in my opinion, the backbone of the game because their whole thing is to keep their team alive and to make their team perform better. You
Hmm.
have Mantis who can heal, who can buff herself, who can buff her teammates, sleep the enemy. You have Cloak and Dagger who can make the enemy take more damage. and get her teammate out of trouble. With Cloak, you have Jeff the Land Shark, who makes characters go faster with with his bubbles and does healing and has a silly little ultimate, which is the bane of many people's existence.
I'm really glad that they're just in season one they're gonna be like changing that to where it's actually accurate to the circle.
Yes. But yes, every single role is very unique. Every single character is very unique. No two characters play similarly at all. There's no
Which
two.
is insane for a roster of like 33 characters.
Yes, on release, a roster of 33 is
And also,
impressive.
we should also mention these you when you boot up the game, you don't have to buy any character. You can play every character for free and you don't have to unlock them, you don't have to buy them or anything.
Yes, this is a free to play game that actually takes free to play as a means of everything that you have to spend money on is purely cosmetic. There is no competitive, there's no like advantage of having to spend money
Yeah.
like there is in certain other games like League of Legends or Valorant or Overwatch, where
Yeah.
you have to spend
And
money to unlock characters or grind a lot of the game to get the
yeah.
characters. You get
Um
everything on release.
yeah. And we are going to be mentioning, just as a preface, we are probably going to be mentioning Overwatch a lot throughout
Because
the video.
it's the main competitor. It is
Yeah.
like when you think of a hero shooter, most
You
people
think of
thought of
Overwatch.
Overwatch. And I can talk about this because I put 1,500 hours into Overwatch and I loved that game, but I like this game a lot more right now. Rival
Mhm.
Rivals is been so fantastic.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Pun intended, yeah. I can't really I have played Overwatch. Well, I played Overwatch when I was 11, which Jesus, I'm 19 now, which
Oh, oh yeah, it came out in 2016. Oh wow. Oh,
yeah. So it's an old game. And then
that's almost 10 years old. Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, I've put a lot. I put a lot of time when I was like really young into Overwatch. I obviously didn't know a lot about it because I was 11.
I'm I'm old. I'm 20. That game came out when I was
12.
oh, what in the world?
Yeah. I'm sorry to get to have you.
You gave me a Christ. Overwatch is almost 10 years old. That's insane.
Oh no, I've given Liam an existential crisis.
Sorry. Anyways, let's talk about the
Yeah, but
superior game in my opinion right now.
yeah, but just I will say I played Overwatch 2 for 2 weeks. I didn't really like it, so I can talk less about Overwatch, but I think it's still like very good to bring it up because it's the main competitor for the game.
Yes, and so I am, now that we have prefaced that Overwatch is going to be a part of this, we can talk about what we really want to talk about, which is why this game has such a chokehold on our lives. I've played this game every single day this week because it is just a lot of fun, and
Hmm.
I think it comes down to one big thing: the fun factor. They
Yeah,
cranked their fun factor up to 11, and they they're not basing it off of like how do we make this the best competitive game ever. It's how do we make this the goofiest game of all time and let people make like do insane plays. Every single character is busted, which means nobody's busted, and I love that philosophy.
yeah, and the thing is like that we're not saying this game doesn't have competitive because this game has a really interesting sort of competitive like aspect to it, but it's also just really fun on the casual side too because like there's no character that is so fundamentally broken and better than everyone else that if you don't pick them you just lose. Like there are obviously characters that are better, like um season zero, Hella, Hawkeye were good. Get Iron Man with the Hulk team up, and they're really good too. But you can just do. There's just you can succeed with every character.
Yes, it is a game where you get to pick who you want, but it is also a game about flexibility and changing your play style. No, you should not. This is not a game about one tricking. There's no role queue. It's a game about playing a roster of characters and how that roster of characters is very unique. And so like it's a game where you want to play as many characters as possible because
Mhm.
it's that good. Like
Yeah. And it's like we're not saying you can't have a main character you play because I mean me and I think I can speak for at least me and Liam. We also have characters we usually
yes, we both
gravitate
have
towards.
characters that we main
Yeah,
mostly.
but there are so many times where I'm like trying to pick roles and stuff like that, and I'm like, I kind of actually want to try out this character this time. Like recently, like the past 2 days, when me and Liam have played, I've been going Magneto more often because I've actually like found him really fun to play.
Yeah, like I have my character I play whenever we need a vanguard. I have the characters I gravitate towards when we are in um, duelist or strategist. Like I'm a big Psylocke player when I'm a duelist because I love her kit. It flows together very well, and it
And
works
you also
really
have
well.
a certain skin.
Shh. Um, and I think the game is very good in terms of like getting making there's a character for everyone. Like I play Luna Snow, I play Psylocke, I play Doctor Strange, I play Mantis, and I play uh, Winter Soldier. Like I have characters that I play, but that doesn't mean I don't get to play other characters. It just
Yeah.
means that those characters I gravitate towards. One of the most fun games I ever had was just being the worst person on the planet and playing Iron Man, and I waited behind the enemy spawn for a minute and a half until their Iron Man came out of their spawn so I could solo ult him.
It was really funny.
And it is like it's just a game where yes, you can play this game seriously and it will be very and it will like it works. You can play the game seriously and it works, but it is a game that has a large fun factor and it is
Yeah.
amazing.
You can like try you can play a serious team comp trying to win every game, or you can play Wolverine, grab their tank and throw yourselves off the ledge.
Yeah, no, the game just it is so funny.
Yeah. Um and I think since we're talking about like how fun and interesting the roster is, like I just want to talk about like how every character feels unique in this game, which is really crazy with a huge roster like this.
Yeah, no, it is an insane because this is a large roster for like the game just coming out,
But
and
no
yet
character plays the same.
no character feels like a copy of another. Like there's certain characters that have a lot of inspiration
And
or
like
moves taken from other games, and like you can be like, oh, this is just this, but they all feel very different. And one of like this is a character that is widely considered not the best, but I love the philosophy behind their design, is Black Widow, which she's a sniper, but she's most effective at close range because all of her moves, you need to be close to them to hit, and that's how you get a lot of your kills. And I
mhm.
think it's really cool.
Yeah. Another character I really like in terms of like their sort of design philosophy is Bucky, cuz he only has 3 shots, but he has 3 abilities, and each of those abilities when you use them, they will reload your gun. So you don't have to you waste time reloading. So you can hit someone with a shot, use a move, automatically get a reload, and then shoot them again, use another ability, shoot again. And it's like I really like that sort of idea of like using your abilities in exchange with your gun. It's like
Yeah,
super cool.
no, like
Um,
there's so many characters that have like the very interesting mechanics. Like Wolverine has a rage meter where the more damage you do or damage you take, you build up a rage, and that increases your damage taken. And if you have rage, when you die, that rage gets transformed to bonus health because as Wolverine, he's technically immortal, but they can't put that into a game. So instead, they just give you a second life if
mhm.
you're enraged. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's like just such a cool concept because it can save your ass so many times. Like, as someone who's been trying to get better at Wolverine because I just think he's really fun, having that extra bonus health to either be able to escape or to just get even deeper into their team and just kill them is really fun and cool.
Yeah, no, it's just they have made a game that is very fun. NetEase, that's the company who makes it, and they know how to make the game fun, and they are doing that through, and they're actually like listening to the people. They
Mhm.
are soon making a season 1, and that is like basically the start of new content for them because they're adding new characters, a new map, a new mode, of course new cosmetics, and balance changes. And
Mhm.
this is where things get scary because balance changes can lead sometimes to a game's downfall. I think a good example is Apex Legend, who focused so much on balance changes that they lost what made their game good, and now their game is basically dead because all they do is cosmetic and balance changes, but they don't make new stuff.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
with Marvel Rivals, they're doing it in a way where they're never going, with at least with this first patch, they're not going too hard on a character if they are really good, and they're
Yeah.
focusing more on bringing characters up than putting characters down, and that is always a good philosophy to have.
Yeah. And I will say this. I have a lot more faith in these devs especially to make good balance changes because these devs like are really good at the game. Like, unironically, some of the devs on the team are top 500 players.
Yeah, no, they know they're actually like they actually play the games, and they
Yeah.
have, and the games that they like, other games that they've made have been successful games. They made Naraka Blade Point, which was like it was a good battle royale. They made Once Human, which is a like a survival game that I've played. That was pretty fun, but like this is like, I think this is their farthest reaching Western game, because they have had other games that have reached Western, but they are an Eastern company.
Hmm.
And but this is like, but they're like they're mostly known for online games, so they know what they're doing, and they're doing it really well.
Yeah.
And
It's
I have praise for them because doing they're making a really good game that I'm having so much fun with, and I'm so excited every time I hear new stuff about the game. Like these two new characters that are coming out in what, 2 days?
yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be, they sound so fun, and I'm so excited to try out Mr. Fantastic and
Yeah.
Invisible
We'll
Woman.
I think we could save our season one discussion near the end. Because
Fair
right
enough.
now I really want to talk about how the maps in this game are. So for context, Marvel Rivals has this really cool thing where a lot of the environments in the game are destructible. So if someone's hiding behind cover, there's a very big chance you can just break that cover and either like knock them down from their ledge, break the cover that they're hiding behind to get at them and kill them, or just, destroy an entire like cover point that they could possibly have on a map. um and I think that's just such a cool thing because like one of the ones that sticks out in my mind is the Bifrost Garden map for Yggdrasil or Yggdrasgard. It's Asgard basically, but I really like how the cover works on that map because there's two big parts that on the side where enemies can like hide up on cover or get high ground, but you can easily break them and destroy the cover that they have, and it's so cool how it works.
Yes, and they have I don't know exactly how many maps they have. I think it's around like 8,
Yeah, it's 8 maps.
and each map plays very differently and has like a unique mechanic. Like the Wakandan maps, they have this thing called
They're
they
like
they
they're
have like random events that happen where it's like the Wrath of Thoth, and you can like start flying, or you can like levitate up
Or like
or
random explosions will pop around
random
the point.
explosions. Like each map plays very differently, and then like like you said with the Asgardian maps, they they will you can break the maps and they will reform because of Asgardian magic. And then you have like
The Hydra map.
the Hydra
I
maps where
really like.
halfway through the game, based on how much progress you've made, once you've hit 50 progress, the map will just shift. Like,
Yeah, the Hydra maps are some of my favorites because I think that gimmick of like the stage is constantly like moving and changing around you is so cool.
yes, it's very very cool, and it works very well for the game because it is a game that is very fast paced, and so the maps reflect that. And I like the dynamic nature of the maps changing, because that means you have a lot to think about. Like, it is a game made for fun, but there is a high skill ceiling, a very high skill ceiling.
Yeah, and I have my gripes with the maps, and the main problem I have with the maps comes down to um the sort of variation between them because there are like in quick play and competitive there are two different modes when it comes to how you like play a game. You've got domination, which you just control a point. You have to get a point up to 100% by by controlling it and keeping the enemies from taking over it. And then you've got convoy, where you will either push a um, I would just say an object. You'll push an object to the end goal, or you will try to stop the other team from getting their object to the end goal. And they're really good modes, and I like how both of them play. The problem comes in is that only only two types of maps have both modes, which are Wakanda and Asgard. Both of those maps have a convoy and a domination map, whereas Hydra is only domination, and Clintar, which is basically a symbiote map, which is still really cool and fun. It's only a convoy map though. There's no domination mode for it, which really, like, I like the idea behind it. It's just that because Wakanda and Asgard both have domination and convoy maps, you will be playing them so much more than the other two maps.
Yeah, it is a bit of a thing where this is where the new game comes in. Because it's a new game, it lacks some of the diversity that those games that have been out for a while have, with like uh maps variety and like that kind of stuff, because it is only 8 maps, which if you're playing the game for
Hours on end, it's
hours
really
on end, it can get repetitive fighting on the same 4 maps, because sometimes you die. Like, sometimes you just won't see the Hydra base for like 10 games, or
yeah.
Clintar for 10. Like, you don't like some
And like
maps you get.
that's
That's going back to Connor's point of
mhm.
it is there's a difference between all of the maps, and how much you are seeing those maps.
Yeah, and I think they just need to make the system because I think the system they have in to like detect how many maps you have played is kind of poor. Because there are times where you will just play Asgard Convoy like 3 times in a row, which is it's not very fun. Oh, and we also forgot to mention Spider Islands.
Yes, the 2099 Spider Island, which is a push map where you push a payload. That one also has a cool mechanic where, instead of the environment like
Rebuilding itself.
rebuilding itself, it will change based on how you destroy it, because of they're like little spider bots that will like hold things up, or like change the supports, and they're cool. It's a cool structure, and I feel like I also get that map a lot.
Yeah, that map
It's
is also just very frequent as opposed to like Hydra or Clintar.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I am excited for them to add more and more maps. Like, we're
Yeah,
getting a
we're
new map
getting
with season 1, which is New York, but
yeah, we're getting a Nightmare New York, which looks super cool.
and as the game, this is a game that has been out for a month, almost to the day. It has been out for a month and 2 days, and it is a new game. So I'm giving it I'm giving it time, but like by this time next year, there will be a lot more maps, a lot more characters, a lot more content, and it's just like
Mhm.
only gonna get better from here.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see that like sort of future. But something I really want to talk about with the game is its monetization system and just how good it is. Like low key.
It like with free to play games, they all are like ooh cosmetic. Like even
Yes.
paid games have gotten more and more gross with their cosmetics. Like
Mm,
Call of Duty, you pay for Call of Duty and then you have to pay for the cosmetic and then you have to pay for the battle pass,
mhm.
and you don't you it's like you're paying for the game but you pay for the base game and then all the cosmetics is more. This
Yeah,
game is free to play, and free to play games have a different thing where they only get money through cosmetics. So usually those cosmetics are expensive, and I like Marvel Rivals version of cosmetics because they, first off, it's purely cosmetic. There's no competitive advantage, and
mhm.
there are in other games like Call of Duty where you get new guns, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It's
And another reason, oh, sorry.
no, you go.
All right. Another thing I really like about the monetization system is that it's really easy to get enough tokens for free to buy a skin. Because I have only been playing for one season and doing like quests and stuff like that. And not only have they given out a bunch of free skins for like events and codes and stuff like that, like if you just have a play, like for example, if you have a PlayStation account, you just get a free Spider-Man skin. If and they were giving out a free Iron Man code and it's still active. You can still get the Iron Man free skin now. Um which is super cool. And they also did an event where if as long as you just did the quest and played the mode for the event, you got a free Jeff the Shark skin. And it's not like a recolor. It's an actual like different skin with its awesome.
It gives skin, you get your own emote, and you get your own MVP screen. And the first season 0 battle pass was only $5 because it was a smaller battle pass. This next one is going to be
It's 10,
$10,
but
but
it's
it has double the skins. They have a lot more like high quality skins. I think there are only 3 recolors.
mhm. There's Penny,
Namor
uh
technically, but he
yeah,
does get a little more changes, and then Moon Knight.
yeah. But those recolors look pretty cool anyway. But the thing is that like with the content that you're getting, yes, there's going to be three recolors, but you're because it's $10 and 10 skins, that's a dollar per skin. And with a lot of the higher quality skins, you're not only just getting the skin, you're getting an emote, you're getting a spray, and most importantly, you're getting a unique MVP animation for those skins.
And an MVP, because we technically didn't explain that, in the game, at the end of the game, there's one person on the winning team who gets called the MVP, most valuable player. And if you get MVP, you get a unique animation for the character you're playing, and skins will change that animation. So, like, there's one with Wanda from
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness crawling out of a portal all like gross like, and it's a really cool one.
Or
Or
there's this one of my other personal favorites is the Iron Man one for Avengers Endgame. I think that's a really cool
yes,
MVP animation.
and these animations, of course, they're purely cosmetic, but they look really cool, so I like them a lot.
Mhm.
And that is where the monetization comes in, where these things, they can cost anywhere from like $15 to $25. I don't think there's been anything more expensive than that.
No,
But
but the way
no,
you're able to get the money to like the in-game units to get those skins is super fast. Like again, as I said, I've been playing this season, first season, season 0, and I almost have enough for an epic skin. And those epic skins aren't just like, it's not just a skin. With those epic skins, you're also getting the MVP animation
yeah,
and
and
stuff.
I may or may not have spent money to get a skin that I liked, and was also it's a very cool skin. That's
It's
all
a
I'll
yeah,
say.
I can say it's a very cool skin.
But I spent $10 not to get just the skin, but I spent $10 so I could get the battle pass and also a little bit extra so I could afford the skin. But that was $10 for 5 skins.
Yeah, and also
And
these MVP animations aren't like, they aren't like something like, oh, the character's just moving around or something. Like they are dynamic and like the new season 1 Wolverine skin MVP animation, like
it has him crawl sliding down a building over the moon. Like they put like effort and like sure they're
and then he
purely cos.
literally
Oh yeah,
I
go
just want to
for
say
it.
he literally like claws into the moon and you can see scratch marks on the moon. It's sick.
Like they put time into making these skins look cool and not just are recolors. They change there's a Venom skin that came out for winter that changes his like almost everything about him. His like particle effects are different. He gets different animate or different sound effects on his ultimate where it makes like it gets a little Christmas jingle or like a holiday jingle and fireworks sound effects. It's cool because they change sound effects for the characters, and it's a more expensive skin. It's a legendary skin, but they changed a lot about it, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's and another thing about the monetization I really like is when it comes to the battle pass, because not only is it like a one-to-one, you're getting all these really cool skins for $10 and it's 10 skins with all the other stuff we talked about like with MVP emotes, stuff like that, but you also are able to complete battle passes after their season is ended. So, for example, if someone didn't complete the season 0 battle pass for this, month, don't worry, you can complete it later in season 1 at like if you've beaten season one's battle pass, or if you've just wanting to complete it first and then move on to the season 1 battle pass.
Yeah, no, it's a very good system because the thing with a lot of video games is they like having their timed exclusives so
Hey,
that you're
yeah,
incentivized to play their game over others because you the fear of losing out. And there have been skins in Marvel Rivals that you lost out on if you didn't do something, but like 90% of the skins you can get at any point or will come back at some point and you can get. There's not a lot of like exclusivity, which I really like. Although the one thing is that I am hoping that they don't fall into a trap of, oh, this character is popular, let's make more skins for them than others, because I'm scared that they're gonna fall into, oh, this character a lot of people play them, so they're gonna make lucrative skins.
Kiriko Overwatch.
Yes, Kiriko Overwatch. That is an abysmal thing where Kiriko gets a skin every single season.
Yeah, I think here's my thing is that with rivals, and again, this is purely speculation, but because they are pulling from Marvel, there are a lot of both of influence that they can take from, whether it be like different comic appearances and looks, or just in general, just like being able to do a lot more experimentation with those characters. And so I definitely think they're going to be adding skins for like obviously some are probably going to get more than others. Like I mean Moon Knight's already got like what 5 skins because
He's got
he's got the ranked gold skin. He's got the Moon Knight show skin. He's got the
Yeah, he's got
basic
Mr.
recolor,
Knight. He's got that. He's got
the gold ranked skin, the other basic recolor, and then we're getting the season 1 recolor
and the lunar skin.
and the lunar skin. Yeah, so Moon Knight's already got a lot of skins, but the thing is just that I think they're going to be doing a lot better with the balance towards getting having characters have different skins and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like to put like a bit of a closing point on cosmetics because we have been talking about them a lot.
Yeah.
They are able. This is something that because they are using the IP of Marvel, they have a lot to work with. But I love how they've already done original stuff. Like for Lunar New Year's, Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight got a skin, and they had a bunch of Christmas skins that weren't from anything else that were introduced in Marvel Rivals. But they can also pull from comics and art and a bunch of other stuff to make incredible skins. And I'm pretty sure that they can do so much with it because of the Marvel IP, but they can also do so much original work. And because the art style is so, I love the art style for
The art
Marvel
style is one of my
Rivals.
favorite parts about that game.
It means that these skins are incredibly stylized and look really cool,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy with how everything looks and turns out. And I mean, when season 1 comes out, I'm gonna be buying another skin.
hmm
We won't
the
talk
last
about that skin.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
And just one last sort of thing to tie up the bow. I know early into Marvel Rival, when they like released monetization details and stuff like that, there was a big argument over like because like the skins were, see, people were saying they were like priced well, and then other people were like, well, Overwatch prices them the exact same, and other games price them the exact same. But the difference is that, like, at least when we're talking about purely Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, Overwatch is a first person game. So if you're buying a skin, you're not seeing that skin. You're really only buying it for other people to see that skin. Whereas with Marvel Rivals, because it's third person, then you are able to see your skin a lot more. And I really like that detail. Because, I mean, personally, like for me, with my main, who is Penny Parker, which I don't think we ever gave our mains actually.
Oh, I think I gave who I play on each role, but it's for me, Luna Snow, Psylocke, Mantis.
Aren't those two supports though?
Oh, for each role, Luna Snow, Psylocke, Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And just quickly for me, it's Penny. I don't know who I main for DPS because I never get to play the role, and then Cloak and Dagger. Um, but yeah, it's as a third-person game, you are able to see a lot of those skins more. And one of my personal favorite skins is the Venom skin for Penny, because you just turn her mech into an Evangelion mech. It's really cool.
And it's based on the comics where the Venom symbiote. I'm not gonna explain it too much, but it's quite messed up. Sh- that is a Penny Parker who has seen some shit.
Yep.
Uh,
But
let's get into the big hot topic, which is the upcoming season 1 of the game, where we've briefly mentioned it, but like let's get into like the big thing. This is like the basically the big like the start of
yeah.
Marvel
So
Rivals.
yeah, as the devs explained in a sort of dev talk thing they did, which I watched it, this first season is going to be double the content of a normal season, which is sick as hell. Because we're getting 4 characters. We're getting um, Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic at the start, and then halfway through, we're going to get the Thing and Human Torch, which is really cool. And we're also getting a new map, which we were getting new maps, which means we might possibly getting more maps halfway through? Question mark? Maybe.
I have
Um,
no clue.
yeah, I don't know either. But since this is double the content of a normal season, that means at least for every other season, we are going to be getting like probably 1 or 2 new maps and 2 new characters every season, which is crazy.
Yes, and it's very cool because with video games now, there's a lot of leak culture, and I think a lot of that is from the companies themselves. So we already have a roadmap of what characters they're planning on adding for at least like a couple of them. So one of my most anticipated characters is going to be added, which is Ultron. We're getting Blade. We're getting Emma Frost, Jean Grey,
Hit Monkey.
Hit Monkey. Like they can pull from whatever they want to, but like back to season 1, we're getting the entire Fantastic Four in one season, a new map, a new game mode, which is free for all, which is probably just going to help a lot of people warm up for characters, get to play the characters they want to play, and just learn on like it's gonna be like a good like trial for a lot of characters where it's like,
Mhm.
man, I want to play this character, but I want to just learn their move set and not so
Yeah.
much team synergy. Boom, go in free for all. Or I want to do some aim trimming. Boom, free for all. It's very cool. We're getting a new battle pass, which is gonna be $10, like almost every battle pass out there.
And we're also getting. Is that it? We already mentioned the maps, right?
With maps, new characters, new battle pass.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that's it.
I, are we getting? There's gonna be a new rank
Oh yeah, we're getting an entire new rank for
for
the rank
for
system.
the ranked mode.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
And
besides the balance changes, obviously.
yes, trying to think everything else. Yeah, there's balance changes. And we're getting new team up abilities.
Oh
We
yeah.
should probably explain team up
Yeah,
abilities.
I was wanting to explain them earlier, but I just forgot.
I also
Another
forgot.
another really awesome thing that this game does is that within certain characters have team ups, which means that they get special power ups or abilities if the other characters on their team. Like for example, if you have Rocket Raccoon with Bucky or Punisher, Rocket can throw down a little beacon thing and give you infinite ammo, which essentially means for Bucky and Punisher you don't have to reload at all, so you can just keep firing no matter what.
Yeah, and a good amount of these team up abilities come from game lore or just whatever they. It's honestly sometimes it's just whatever they want. Like you have stuff that makes sense. Like all the Asgardians have a team up where when Hela gets kills, Loki and Thor can revive themselves. But then you have team ups that like don't really make all that much sense.
But they're still like cool.
Like dimensional shortcut between Magic, Psylocke, and Black Panther, where Black Panther just gets to teleport because he can.
And then Psylocke can basically just do Tracer Recall, where she just goes back 5 seconds and gets some bonus health.
Or like the one between Luna Snow, Namor, and
Yeah.
Jeff the Shark, where basically it's all because they have water powers or water adjacent powers, so they all get a team up. But they're gonna add new ones, of course, with new characters. They're gonna change stuff, but like there are a lot of very cool characters that have a lot of funny team
Shout
ups.
out to Fastball Special between Hulk and Wolverine.
He picks him up and he throws him. It's awesome.
It's really funny too.
But yes, there's a lot of new content being added for season 1. Like I said, we get 2 new characters, which is going to be really cool. We'll get even more new characters soon. We're getting 3 new maps, or we're getting
We're
one,
getting three new maps.
3 new maps. Although I think is
It's
it
they
just
have the same.
domination? Is it just domination?
I don't think so, because I know in the dev thing they talked about Convoy. So I think the new maps are gonna be like, the new one's gonna like New York is gonna be like Wakanda and Asgard, where they're gonna have domination and Convoy.
Which is nice because we're getting the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is Doctor Strange's like abode. We're just getting a lot. And what's also really cool is that there will probably during the season be free events with even more free skins. There will be even more content coming in the coming weeks. And there's so much they can do, and it's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's honestly impressive, like the amount of content we're getting. Um, and then something I want to like just to quickly wrap up the video is who Liam, who do we want in Marvel Rivals? Because I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a huge Marvel fan anymore, but I was really big into Marvel around like Endgame, Infinity War, around that area. So I'm interested. Who do you want in Marvel Rivals?
Okay, so my number 1 character that I want for Marvel Rivals, well, besides Ultron, but Ultron's being added, is Daredevil. I loved the show that he was in. I love his powers. I love the whole being blind, but all the other senses are enhanced, and I feel like that could fit really well into. I know he'd be a duelist, which, although I don't want more duelist characters, he'd be too cool. I want Daredevil. I think he would be so fun. You could give him like his batons or nunchucks or whatever you want, and he'd be a really, really cool character who could be like kind of like a uh like a recon hero where he can like show where people are, or have like like of course heightened senses. He'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Um, your turn.
Do we want to give like a top three?
Oh yeah, we can do a top three. I really, really want Rogue, because she's a very cool character, and more mutants is always cool. But she is she has the power to, like, basically it's a really insane power where she just sucks the life force out of you. That's basically what she does, and it's a very scary power, but it'd be really cool in terms of like her being like a debuffing character.
So she could be like a strategist, maybe.
Yeah, where she just like debuffs the other team. Um,
That'd be cool.
yeah, and she can also take others' abilities, kind of like Loki, but um, it's really, it would be really cool. And my last one, this is a bit of a switch up. I would love to see Spawn,
Ooh, Spawn would be really
or
cool.
I'm doing 4 just because I thought of this just now. Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider would be sick.
I would actually scratch everything. Ghost Rider. I want Ghost Rider. He would be so cool. And I'm not even gonna describe him. I just want him. He's got a flaming skull for a head, and he rides a motorcycle. What more do
He
you
uses
need?
flaming chains as weapons.
Like, he'd be such a badass character. I
And
want
he
him.
was played by Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like my main one. But I think we should also get more villains. So I
Yes.
want more villains.
So I guess I'll go into my top three. The character I want the most in this game is probably Deadpool, and I know he would be a duelist, but I just think they could do a lot. I feel like he could be a really cool, like, sort of close quarters character with his, like, obviously his like Uzis, but also his katanas. He could have like a really cool like healing factor thing, since he does canonically have a healing factor. And I feel like they could do a lot of cool stuff with his fourth wall breaking stuff. I think that could be like a really funny thing they could do.
Yeah.
Then my number two. My number two, I would love to see Doctor Octopus as like a vanguard in this game. I think they could do some really cool stuff with his powers and his abilities and stuff like that. And I just think he would be a really cool addition. Because I want more Spidey villains, because I think there's just so many cool Spidey villains that they could pull from, and I think Doctor Octopus would be a great one.
Yeah, no, that is a Doctor Octopus. Great choice.
Um, and then my number three would probably, I would have to say, um, yeah, probably Wasp, because I think like she could just be a really cool like strategist disruptive character, or a duelist, who knows. But I think she just could be a really cool character to play around and like just to make, because like you could easily, obviously, like she'll have her flying abilities, but you could have the shrinking stuff with the pin particles and stuff like that. And I think I would just, in general, just an Ant-Man like character, whether it's Ant-Man or Wasp or something like that. I just want, like, I think they could do really cool stuff with either of those characters. I mean, I guess I could give a number four since Liam gave a number four. And I guess I don't know why, but I would really like to see how Thanos would play. I just think it'd be funny.
I think it would be very funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they'd do it, because he'd probably have to have the Infinity Gauntlet, which would just be kind of silly. But I don't know. I think it'd
I
be
mean,
funny.
it's a video game, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Also,
His ult has him snap, and like half the team just dies.
I'm reading there are a lot more balance changes than I than originally thought. Almost every character got touched.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, But see, like there's so many characters that they can pull from, so much they can do. There's so many like avenues to pull from. We can get really silly characters like the big wheel from Spider-Man.
Big wheel.
That could be
Or
a that could be
or
an
the
awesome
wall.
or the wall. Like they could do so much. There's like basically endless possibilities for characters, and I'm excited to see this game stick around for a long time.
Yeah, because again, like if we are going off the fact that like we're gonna be getting at least two every season, then that means by like this time next year, we'll have like maybe close to 45 characters in the game.
Yes, we are going to be eating good, and
And the reason they're able to add so many characters is because like as opposed to Overwatch, where Overwatch has to create their own characters and lore and stuff like that every time they make a character, with Marvel Rivals you're already having pre-established characters that with abilities. So really it's just like how do you interpret these characters into the game, which is going to make it a lot easier for us to get more characters and more content, which is really cool. And just one last quick topic I want to bring up before we wrap up is is this going that's something that's been sort of circulating around the internet as Marvel Rivals is getting more and more popular is is this game going to be the Overwatch killer? And I have my own take on this. I want to hear your take, Liam.
I think that if Overwatch continues down this path, it doesn't need another game to be the Overwatch killer because it has just made bad choice after bad choice, and it really needs to pick it up. And I think this being competition honestly could be more of a revival than a death. And so I'm really hoping that they learn from this because although I'm a big Marvel Rivals guy now, I do still like Overwatch. I hope they learn from this, but it's Blizzard Entertainment, so there's a good chance that Overwatch just falls into obscurity. Not obscurity, but like just it loses its big like monopoly over team shooters.
Hmm.
And
Um,
Marvel
oh,
Rivals is to put it plainly, Marvel Rivals is healthy competition that Overwatch desperately needed because they could be as lazy as they wanted. But now that there is a team hero shooter that's doing better than Overwatch, I'm hoping that they pick it up.
mhm. All right, time for my sort of, I guess, opinion. I don't think this thing's gonna kill Overwatch. As Liam said, if anything kills Overwatch, it's gonna be Blizzard and their like really bad decisions. That's what's gonna kill Overwatch because. But as Liam said, this game is just going to be really good competition. It's essentially lighting a fire under the asses of the people up at Blizzard to be like, oh, we can no longer be super lazy because we were the only popular team shooter, so team hero shooter. So now we've got to be, you know, we've got to like step it up so we don't lose our audience to Marvel Rivals. And I hope that, and I was never a huge fan of Overwatch, but I do, still don't want the game to die because that mean a lot of people would be losing out on work and stuff like that. And so I do hope that this lights a fire under their asses and they like actually get their just get in gear and actually like make a bunch of good updates and good decisions to keep the game alive. I am obviously a bit bigger Marvel Rivals fan, so I will still like Rivals over um Overwatch, but I still, I still think this would be good competition. And I don't think this is going to kill the game, because if it can keep going after all this time of making good decisions, I think it's going to stick around anyway. Um, but I think this is going to be good competition, and just in general, I think it's nice to have two good hero shooters. Well, what do we say? Overwatch is good. Overwatch
Current
2?
Overwatch, no, because
Yeah.
my big problem with Overwatch 2 is they have a big 2 slapped on there, but they have gone back on every decision that has made it a 2. No campaign, and then they recently started doing stuff with 6v6 coming back, which even further cements it as not a new game. It's just the same game again. And so I would not say it's a very. Just don't. I don't find it enjoyable. I like if someone asked me to play Overwatch, I'd probably just say no. If someone asked me to play Marvel Rivals, oh, in an instant I'm on.
Um, yeah, exactly. But I, um, I would just say like Marvel Rivals has just done a lot of the stuff Overwatch promised, and it's done a lot of the stuff Overwatch does better. Because apparently, and again, this is just rumors, so don't take this with a big grain of salt. But apparently, they're also thinking of doing a PVE in Marvel Rivals, which personally for me, I think it'd be really fun, especially because you're pulling from Marvel, which has like really cool and insane stories. So I feel like you
And
could do something.
it would also be really cool because you have a lot of like fodder enemies that would be work really well for that type
Yeah.
of
Um,
that like a PvE environment.
that like quickly just as in the lore of the game, because I've read a lot of the lore like stories that each character has, which each character has their own like lore things you can read, which is super cool. Um, but literally one of the big threats that some of the characters face is this like hive mind bug race called like I think the Brood.
Ah,
Um,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and so like those would be perfect enemies for them to fight. You could fight other symbiotes for like Null and Clintar or Dracula's vampires in the upcoming like, season 1 thing where Dracula takes over New York. Like it's like a bunch of really cool stuff that they could pull from. So I would love to see a PvE mode for this game. But I think we should start wrapping up. We've been talking about this game for a bit.
Yes, and so my closing points. This game is. I can't even say it's polished. It is a game that is taking itself. That is made a very good like stride in the PvP genre of multiplayer games. It is unique. It is fun. And it doesn't seem like they're trying to destroy that fun factor. In fact, they're only trying to enhance it by adding more synergies, more new characters, new maps. Like they keep adding instead of taking away fun stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and this is a little thing. I love what they're doing. They're allowing you to make mods. They're technically like they could ban mods because it's like a money loss, but they're letting people have mods because it's a thing that just they can do. And I just love that the devs seem to actually play their game, care about their game, and I don't see this game going anywhere anytime soon. So it makes me very happy because I've had an absolute blast. I just wish I could play ranked with my good friend Connor here, but we play on different
Yeah.
systems.
hmm Yeah, that's something I will say. I have a few gripes with the game. For one, on PC, lots of crashes.
Yep.
Liam can definitely
Yep.
attest to that. I think yesterday we played like a huge, like maybe like close to 4 hour long session, and he crashed like 5 times. Um, but and also in quick play, if you leave a match in quick play, you can get banned, which I think is kind of not fun because like if I get a terrible teammate that's being just like very toxic or just constantly insulting me for like not playing well, or let's say they think I'm not playing well. Like the other day, I had a teammate who I was playing support or strategist, and they kept saying that I wasn't healing them enough. And then at the end of the match, I had 14k healing. So yeah. But like I was wanting to leave that match because it's like this guy's just insulting me the entire time. I don't want to like deal with this. Um, but I can't because then I'll get banned. And I think for quick play that should just be taken away. I do think it should be kept for ranked because it's ranked if you're trying your best to win. So if someone leaves and they don't get punished for that in ranked, that's like a huge loss. Um, but I just don't think that it should be in quick play. But I still really enjoy this game. I think all the dynamics with teams are fun. I think all the characters are really fun to play. Like there are in like there are maybe like two really bad characters in the game, and even then one of those characters is getting buffed next season to like make them really good. Um and I just think this game has a very healthy system with its balance, with its monetization, with its characters, and just in general, the amount of content and transparency the company is giving us, I think is really cool and it's really good. And I just love playing with my friends. I do wish I could grind ranked with Liam, but it does make sense because PC players do have an inherent advantage over console players. So being able to have that distinction between console and ranked is really nice and really fun. Um, like for example, there's a thing with Luna Snow where with her ult you could toggle between damage and healing, and there's a thing where people would set that to their scroll wheel, so you could just you. It was insane. Like it
Uh,
was just it
you.
was it
Yeah,
like
they're
you really have
fixing
to
it
see it.
in season one, but it was just an inherent thing where if you played Luna Snow on PC, you were just your ult was just better.
Yeah, because the scroll wheel would switch between the modes faster than you could spam with the triggers in on controller. So that I'm glad they're changing that because that was just genuinely unfair to console players who had to deal with that. But I really like this game. I really hope they keep up this momentum and we just get a game like Overwatch that just has huge staying power for years to come.
Yes, and I think this is the game to do it. And it's
Mhm.
not even it's the Marvel IP. I'm gonna say it barely has anything to do with it. A good game is a good game, even if it has an IP attached to it.
Yeah,
And a
and I
bad
will
game would
say
be a bad game.
I think they're gonna try their hardest to keep this game alive, and they're gonna keep doing stuff like this because I feel like Marvel has definitely put a lot of time and money into this, you know, game, and so I think they're gonna try their hardest to make that back. And I just think they're gonna. I think with if they keep the current momentum they have with balance changes, with characters being added and maps and the content, I think this game's gonna like stay as long as Overwatch has, probably even longer.
Yeah, but that's it from me. It's a great game. You should check it out. It's free to play. It's on all current gen consoles, PC.
Yep.
Very fun.
Yep, but with that, we have been Fetch Quest, and we will see you. Oh wait, you like this? If you like this video and content like this, please obviously like and subscribe. And comment below what character have you played Marvel Rivals? What character do you main in Marvel Rivals?
And who do
You know,
you want? Who do
yeah,
you want
who
in
do
this
you
game?
want in this game? Because there's a lot of characters you
You
can pull
can
from
pick
for this game.
from anyone.
Hmm.
Right.
And with that, we have been Fetch Quest, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.